To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Please join me as I pray. Again, Father, we're always thankful for the blessings of this new day and just to get up, take a breath of air and put our feet on the ground. And Lord, as I was driving here today, I thought to myself, what would you have me say? And a song came to mind by the Gaithers that says, sometimes it takes a mountain, sometimes a troubled sea, sometimes it takes a desert to get a hold of me. But your love is so much greater than anything that troubles me. Sometimes it takes a mountain to trust you and believe. And Father, we've been through a lot and there's a lot ahead. These commissioners have a heavy burden on their shoulders. And sometimes it takes a mountain to get us to trust you and believe. If these commissioners will look to you for guidance in the decisions they make and keep the citizens of this county in mind, it will come out according to your plan. And we just trust you today to intervene in this meeting and be a part of it. For it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Morning, everyone. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Here.
Commissioner Castleman,
Here.
Commissioner Russo,
Here.
Commissioner Law,
Here.
Judge Bell.
Here, we have a quorum. Citizens to be heard. Nope. We do have a presentation today from the Coastal Plains Local Emergency Planning Committee. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Well, there was a PowerPoint presentation, but I'm not sure if, will that be,
It's coming up.
okay. I assume this clicker works. Okay.
Should in a second, anyway.
We'll find out.
There we go.
There.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Gus Lopez. I'm here on representing the Coastal Plain LEPC. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about a program that we've kickstarted a little less than a month ago called Ready Safe. But first, let's talk about what LEPC is. So LEPC is the Coastal Plain Local Emergency Planning Committee, which it leads Tri-County area of Aransas, Refugio, and San Patricio in planning for emergencies and providing the community with information about hazardous materials. So who's involved with the CPLEPC? So it's generally it's members and volunteers that consist of local leaders, business owners, community members. It's run by board members. As you can see, there's a list here. I'm not going to read them all off, but this board member ran. And what areas does the CPLEPC serve? So we serve Aransas, Fulton, Rockport, Refugio, all the basically, once again, I don't have to list off the entire areas that we represent, but there's a lot. So why the CPLEPC? So the purpose of the Coastal Plain LEPC, the role that is played is to form a partnership with local governments and industry as a result of the Emergency Planning Community Right to Know Act of 1986, and to be a resource for hazardous materials preparation. The EPCRA establishes requirements for industry and governments regarding emergency planning and community right to know reporting for hazardous chemicals. What is the Ready Safe program? So the Ready Safe program is designed to ensure readiness in the event of an emergency and to keep the community safe. The Ready Safe outreach program is aimed at increasing awareness of emergency management planning and highlighting the valuable resources the Code Red notification system provides to the community. The Ready Safe outreach program is our way to stay connected with the community, share important alerts through our Code Red notification systems, and send information directly from local officials and industry partners. So what is Code Red? Code Red is the community notification system that we encourage residents in Aransas, Refugio, and San Pat counties to opt in and receive non-emergency and emergency alerts in your area. Why sign up for alerts? Well, the area notification system is the quickest and the most efficient way for local officials and industry to notify the community is for you to sign up for the Code Red emergency and non-emergency alert system. So emergency versus non-emergency. Non-emergency alerts through the Code Red non-emergency notification alerts, you will receive information directly from local officials or industry partners on occurrences such as severe weather alerts, planned flaring, abnormally loud noises, or road construction alerts. Emergency alerts would consist of, the Code Red notification system is one of many systems designed to notify the community. In the unlikely event that local officials need to contact the community, residents who opt into the system can receive emergency information such as evacuations, shelter in places, or water boil orders during natural and man-made disasters. So how to sign up? You can register by website as posted here. Click on emergency and non-emergency notifications. Select which alert notifications you would like to sign up for and complete your profile with Code Red. Note, each alert notification option has its own registration process. So there's also State of Texas Emergency Assistance Registry, or also known as STEER. If you or anyone you know needs assistance during an emergency event, the CPLEPC can also help you register with the State of Texas Emergency Assistance Registry. The STEER program is free and provides local emergency planners and responders information on additional needs in their communities. You can register for STEER by dialing 211 or use your video telephone relay option of choice to contact 211 at the number posted 877-541-7905 or online at also the website posted above. Please note, registering yourself with STEER does not guarantee that you will receive a specific service during an emergency. Available services will vary by community. And here we have a list of some of the emergency contacts in the area as well here. So some contact information for the CPLEPC. You can reach us here at this phone number, or you can contact us at the website listed here as well. I would just like to add also, I brought some flyers today that we can pass out. I'll leave them out at the front desk there that has all the information as well. And if you'd like further information, maybe digitally, we can send that out to you. That way you can pass out at your own Discord. Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for the Code Red.
Thank you all.
Any questions for the gentleman?
None.
All right, under consent agenda items, we have actually we have 5. I'd like to bring to the attention that donations to the animal control from for $25 from Noreen Etor Sedabrin, and I guess another $25 from the same couple or same people, and a $50 donation from AJ and S Red, White, and Blueberry Lemonade Stand, Ashlyn, Jaden Curry, and Sadie Shopey. Thank you very much. This was their lemonade days, right?
Yeah.
And if any of y'all participated, there was 31 lemonade stands. My wife and I made it through about 16 before I couldn't handle it.
Well, I was a judge, so I made it through all of them with quite a pucker and funny.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll bring
It was good,
it.
though.
So do I have a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Walbach. All those in favor? Oh,
Aye.
wait a minute. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Wambach,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item number 7.
I move to approve the second quarter 2021 report for the Texas Maritime Museum.
Second.
Come on up, sir. Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Castleton.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Judge Mills, Jack Shaney,
Morning.
Mr. Casterline, Pat Russo, Ms. Laubach. Still getting the names. How's everybody been doing since the last time I saw y'all?
Love these pictures.
Yeah, they're great, aren't they?
They're awesome.
I'm gonna try to gift you guys with those every time I see you. All right. Well, during my last presentation, and I got my stopwatch going here, I discussed that this year marked the 158th anniversary of the 1863 Battle of Galveston. If you go to the next slide, this consisted of the loss of the flagship USS Westfield and many of those in her flotilla, and more importantly, the port of Galveston, a massive loss to the federal fleet. So this is the picture I showed you last time that we found in the Memphis Public Library. This is a ship that I worked on for over 7 years during the recovery efforts in Galveston. If we can go to the next slide. The reason I bring this picture up again is because coming up, those that were evacuated during Westfield's grounding and destruction were quickly transferred to the identical sister ship, USS Clifton. They were both built together side by side, keel by keel, in Greensport, New York, before they were converted into ferry gunboats for the federal attempt to retake the Confederacy. After the federal forces regrouped from Galveston, another attempt would be made almost a year later on the Texas coast at Sabine Pass, an event that would be known as the Confederate Thermopylae. On September 8th, 1863, the anniversary coming up, USS Westfield and USS Sachem made an attempt to bypass what a seemingly abandoned Fort Griffin to take Sabine City. That was not the case. The famous Dick Dowling and his Irish Texas artillerymen thwarted the effort, and with their superior gunnery and their well-known terrain, they bested both ships. Sachem and Clifton were disabled and captured with all hands. It was a very gory, tragic battle for the Union, a major victory for the Confederacy. The rest of the fleet and the army regiments retreated. And although the Union would continue to patrol the Texas coast throughout the war, Texas would remain in Confederate hands throughout the duration of the war. These are some of the things that we're trying to bring to the museum. As I mentioned, we're trying to expand the history for the whole full Texas coast, all the way up to Louisiana and down to the Rio Grande. So if we can go to the next one. So on to our general numbers. Our numbers continue to grow in the first and second quarters of 2021 compared to last year. We're doing quite well. We've had a combined visitor increase of 48%. The second quarter alone would be a massive 159 increase, which can be explained by our successful patron party and the Rockport Wine Festival. So if we go to the next slide. And my numbers are all messed up on my slides. I apologize. I'm the ones in the lower left-hand corner. For this quarter, we'd seen a positive 186% difference between last year and this year. However, there has been a decrease in international visitors for that time. I think that's just still because of some of the flight restrictions coming from Europe. But our regular attendance, as mentioned, is going very steadily and doing quite well. If we go to the next slide. So our attendance for this year for people traveling 70 plus miles out of Rockport has grown substantially with an increase of 104%. So far, that's for the second quarter alone. Again, this is obviously due to the wine festival. We had a lot of people coming in. So again, to sum up the increase of general numbers for this year to this date, and last year show an increase combined of 48%. I hope if y'all are following. I think this is extremely positive for so early in the year. I'm kind of trying to show how it was and, combined for last year, combined for this year, and then second quarter for last year and second quarter for this year. And last year, of course, we didn't have the wine festival. So we brought in a large amount of people from out of town this year due to advertisement and due to people wanting to travel. So let's go to the next one. So we're on 6. Okay. Um, So again, this brings up the increase in general numbers combined to this year end date, shows an increase of 48%. I think this is extremely positive for so early in the year because this does not account for third quarter and fourth quarter, which, you know, we're going to still get some more of our snowbirds that are going to be here throughout September. And then we'll be getting some more increases in December as schools let out and people come back for more visitation. So let's go to the next one. In terms of our, this is basically showing the final summary of past years. The numbers show full attendance between 2016 and 2021, with this year only showing the combined attendance to date. As you can see, you know, 2020 was, you know, 5,500 people. This year, at just the half the year, it's 59, almost 6,000 people. So we know that we're going to get back to our 2019 numbers, 2016, 2017 numbers. Obviously, 2017 suffered and 2018 because of Harvey. So if we can go to the next one. In terms of our expenditures, the support of the county has been unbelievably helpful in our continued operation. As you can see in the sheet, the museum respectfully asks for the county's granted curatorial and education costs to remain the same as in last quarter. The already granted funds have been extremely helpful in rebuilding our educational programs, which ceased to exist for the entire time during COVID. And we had a hiring freeze to where we could not bring on an educator. We now have a wonderful educator who ran these incredible camps. We're also continuing the renovation of our curatorial exhibits and hiring the staff to accomplish these tasks. We finally have, I believe, a full staff. So we're definitely moving forward. So let's go to the next one. We're going to talk about Wine Festival. This year hit off our 24th annual Wine Festival. It proved to be the most successful that we've ever had. Our ads reached over 95,800 people across Texas and beyond. So if you go to the next one, you can see our grounds were completely packed. People were having fun, enjoying themselves. They were watching our headlining band, the Spasmatics. I had honestly never heard of these guys, this nerdy band, but I will tell you, it's not an act. These guys love what they do. They are nerdy and they know how to get the crowd going. We had this whole place just packed to capacity. So much so that it actually became kind of concerning that we would not be able to handle it. If you go to the next one, we can show some maps of where these people are coming from. So obviously the main concentration is going to be in Texas and the surrounding states, but you can see we did get hits from all over. Now, each one of those hits could be 5 people, 20 people, 100 people. So as our counters take this and log it into this Google Earth system, you can zoom into each section and see the quantity from every zip code. So let's go to our next one. This is going to have most of the detailed information, which I think will impress you. So basically, this next map shows a more specific breakdown of the numbers and our hotspots. So to explain our counting system, this was complicated. This was something we did new this year using this Google Earth system. We were not able to keep track just because of the amount of people we brought in. In 2021, between the hours of 2 and 6 p.m., we recorded 1,375 people. We confirmed that 764 came from 75 plus miles. Now that's just for that initial number, that 1,375. That's before our counters went down between 7 and 8:30 p.m. and we switched to paper. And so we had all these paper tablets coming in. And so originally our estimate was based on security, saying that we had to consider closing our gates. And because of just the amount of people and fire concern and just if there was an incident that could cause a stampede, we estimate about 2,500 people. After our final counts came in 2 weeks ago, we're looking at about 2,800 plus people. Unfortunately, I don't have all the information on the 75 plus miles out yet. This is based on percentages for each hour since our counters went down and the paper estimates that we had. Again, we were recommended to close our gates. We were able to keep it open with security and later the police kind of monitoring the grounds. And as I said, this was a very, very successful event. So if we can go to our next slide. Our summer camps were amazing. We have a new educator, Shelley Nossman. Pat Russo was able to meet her. She did a fantastic job advertising to all the schools and communities and bringing these people in, having different educational tours for them, different activities. She had a full group of counselors that were actually all advanced placement students. That little gremlin in the maroon shirt in the corner, that's actually my boy, that's Tyler. And he's having the time of his life. If you want to go to the next slide. Shelley took him on field trips to numerous other nonprofits. That's actually supposed to say Bay Education Center. I don't know how Side got in there, and also to the Fulton Mansion, I believe to the Historical Society. So they got a taste of all of Rockport and Fulton as well, generally Aransas County. So they had a great time. The parents were thrilled to have them out of the house, but also doing something educational. So moving on to our next one. Our curation continues. As you saw in this previously, we had our initial concept in the upper left-hand corner for a yard arm exhibit that was supposed to be functional. It is now completed and we are using it. If you go to the next one, you can see some beautiful pictures of the final construction, all of the elegant woodwork and lines that have gone into it, the blocks and tackle. Again, it is fully functional and we're using it with the public. As you go to the next slide, you can see that families are already taking advantage of it. They're unhooking the lines. It requires limited supervision. They're learning how to do the knots, how to pull everything out, how to trim the sail, turn it 45 degrees to larboard or 45 degrees to starboard, how to cant it, lower the yard. Some of it does require supervision if we're going to be moving the yard, but the sail alone can be done by a family just passing through and with minimal instruction that's posted next to the exhibit. We will have a soft opening for this coming up. I will let you know about that. If you go to the next slide. Finally, our Karankawa exhibit is coming together. Here you can see the Karankawa completed wiki-up hut that the children will be able to crawl into. Tomorrow I'll be working with State Maritime Archaeologist Amy Borgens and State Collections Manager Brad Jones down at the Corpus Christi Repository and assisting in bringing numerous new artifacts to the museum, including a Karankawa dugout. This also goes to other future exhibits that we plan to have hopefully completed by the end of the year. But we are definitely moving forward. You can see all that new crown molding that is right there above the Karankawa hut that now goes around the entire museum, which will frame all the artwork and give the museum a much warmer, cleaner feeling. If you go to the next one. These are our Karankawa figures that we just had brought in. I've been working with Corpus on some of their conservation problems with their artifacts breaking down. In return, they gifted this family of wax figures. I showed you these pictures or early pictures of when we thought we were going to get them, but now we have them. And Steve Russell, the local artist, will be helping us restore them to showcase material. To our next one and final. We are starting a docent program in addition to our educational and volunteer program. We will actually have docents posted. Here I'm giving a tour and showing kids what it's like to be a conquistador, how to use a telegraph. We're going to have docents posted to where they can take people around if they want, show them the exhibits, help them interact with the exhibits, and generally tell them history of every section that they're looking at. It's going to be a much more inclusive and engaging maritime experience. Thank you all for your time. I appreciate all your support that you guys have given previously and today.
Thank you, Doctor. I appreciate it. And it's amazing what you've done with the museum. And also I can second your statement about how well the wine festival was.
It was fun. It was
thought
a
about
lot
it
of
for a
fun.
couple of days afterwards too.
And I've never seen it. That was my first.
All right. Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lala,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item number 8.
I move to approve Resolution R12, 2021, a resolution selecting the most qualified proposer or proposers for the medical facility operator services and authorizing county staff to begin negotiations with Amistad Community Health Center, Inc. and Bay Area Healthcare Group Limited, does business as Corpus Christi Medical Center, to operate the facilities, which will be built utilizing funds from the Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Project number 2065098C270.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Laubach. Any discussion?
Is the term that they will be operating the facility accurate description? Is the term that they will be operating the facility an accurate description of what will be?
Judge, I can speak to that.
Kim? Yes, go ahead.
Yes, it's accurate.
Kim, are you online?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is accurate. They will be an operator of the facility. The ownership will be with, our intent is for it to be with ACMSI. And that's of course subject to the GLO approving that particular part of the transaction. But that's what we have in the MOU, and the two that we're looking at right now are just operators, medical provider.
All right. Any other questions? Roll call.
Mr. Cheney,
Aye.
Mr. Castleberg.
Aye.
Mr. Russo,
Aye.
Mr. Longo,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous.
I would also like to recognize Nancy Kinkler was part of our selection committee, and she has been with us, I think, from the beginning and is in attendance this morning. So thank you, Nancy, and thanks to all the members of the selection committee.
Yes, thank you very much. Item number 9.
I move to approve Resolution R16, 2021, authorizing publication of delinquent taxpayers' names.
I second that.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Russo. All those, any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Cheney,
Aye.
Mr. Castleberg,
Aye.
Mr. Russo,
Aye.
Mr. Longo,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous.
Just so when I write this up, we typically do this every year, don't we? We're not changing.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Item number 10.
I move to approve resolution R17, 2021, resolution hiring the most qualified proposer, grant works for the grant administration services of the American Rescue Plan Act grant, and authorizing county staff to begin negotiation with grant works for such services.
I second that motion.
Okay. I'm gonna give that one to Commissioner Cheney.
That's fine.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Cheney,
Aye.
Mr. Castleberg,
Aye.
Mr. Russo,
Aye.
Mr. Longo,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item number 11.
I move to approve awarding a grant administration contract to GrantWorks LLC for the administration of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 funds, and authorize Judge Mills to sign all necessary documents.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Cheney,
Casterline.
Castleline, whatever.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care either. Roll call.
Mr. Cheney,
Aye.
Mr. Castleberg,
Aye.
Mr. Russo,
Aye.
Mr. Longo,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye. Item 12.
Move to approve the July 2021 indigent healthcare report. I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Cheney. None, right? Go ahead.
We have any questions on that? No, thanks.
Nope, roll call.
Mr. Cheney,
Aye.
Mr. Castleberg,
Aye.
Mr. Russo,
Aye.
Mr. Longo,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item 13.
I move to approve authorizing county judge to sign the Walgreens Community Offsite Clinic Agreement covering the administration of immunizations at the county's annual health fair.
Motion made. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I have 3 seconds. You take your choice.
Bodes well for the vote.
Roll call.
Mr. Cheney,
Aye.
Mr. Castleberg,
Aye.
Mr. Russo,
Aye.
Mr. Longo,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item 14.
I move to approve paying for immunizations at the annual Aransas County Employee Health Fair for employees not covered by health insurance. An estimated cost of $1,500 already budgeted from the healthcare sales tax.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Cheney. Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lawson.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item 14.
I move to approve allowing the Healthy County Coordinator, which is the HR Director, to spend up to $2,500 of the Healthy County and Fair funds on incentives and other expenditures incurred for the annual Aransas County Employee Health Fair in anticipation of receiving funds back from the Texas Association of Counties Healthy County Program.
I second that.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Russo. Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lawson.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item 15.
16.
16.
I'm sorry.
I move to approve authorizing the county judge to sign 2021 on-site checkup scheduling addendum with Catapult Health for on-site screenings during the employee health fair.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Castelline. Any discussion?
I just have a curiosity. What sort of screenings will they be doing, Linda?
They do the blood work so that employees will know if they have diabetes.
Okay. Thank you.
Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lawson.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Excellent.
I move to propose the 2021 tax rate at the no new revenue rate, the one beginning with 0.392, and schedule the public hearing for Monday, August 23rd, 2021 at 8:30 a.m.
I second that.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Russo. Any discussion? Wow. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lawson.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye.
Do we, for legal purposes, need to read out the full rate? I can only remember the first three digits, but referring to it as a no new revenue rate, is that good enough?
I think that's good enough with the first few digits, including the fact that, considering the fact we'll be having a public hearing.
Just so I've had it handed to me, it's 0.392917.
Okay. 18.
I move to approve.
Did we?
Oh, we didn't. We're going to discuss.
I think she did it in the previous motion. I don't know. Used to be a separate one.
Okay. Item 19.
Oh,
Oh,
No,
it's
18.
different.
8.
it's different. Okay. I move to set the public hearing for the 2022 budget for Monday, August 23rd, 2021 at 8:45 a.m.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Cheney. Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lawson.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item 19. Discuss, take action on elected officials' salaries to be included in the budget.
I'll second that motion.
So the motion is
Not a motion.
the motion to include the elected officials in a COLA, and a COLA at what level? I will move to approve a 7.5% COLA, including elected officials.
Motion made,
I'll second.
second, twice. Castellane and Cheney. Any discussion?
Well deserved.
And then, if not, roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Against.
Commissioner Lawson.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, I'm sorry. 4 for, 1 against. Item 20.
I move to approve budget line item transfers and amendments.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, Mr. Castellane.
We have none at this time.
Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lawson.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous.
Hey, what are you up to?
Guess who I just.
Who's that?
Somebody's got their mic on. on Zoom.
Move to approve the accounts payable and payroll liabilities.
I'll second that.
Motion made,
Do
second.
we have any unusual ones?
No, ma'am, there's nothing unusual. I do have a few capital ones, but I do have one that I'm going to pull. I'll just go ahead and get you to approve it, but we're going to put it on next week's agenda to approve an agreement, settlement agreement with the Railroad Commission. I have the check, but we will wait to mail it until we get approval from court.
Can you, I
It was-
didn't know we had a settlement going with the Railroad
Well,
Commission. Is there anything you can tell us?
It's
or-
on some pipeline damage from Road and Bridge, and we'll need to bring this to court.
Okay.
When did that occur?
That's a good question. Do you know, David?
But
Oh.
sometime back, years,
No,
months?
no, they just mailed the letter to us July 22nd.
No, I mean the damage. Is it
I'm,
old?
I'm looking, I'm not sure when the damage occurred.
In
Few
this,
months, a few
in
months.
this year? Okay, thank you.
All right. Any further discussion?
Oh,
Roll
it
call.
was November
Aye.
of last year.
Aye.
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 Aye, unanimous. Now it's time for any elected official or department head to bring up anything they'd like to talk about. Well, if not, I would like to announce that I have appointed, I'm going to have to spell her last name because I don't know anything about how to pronounce it. Monica, Arredondo.
Arredondo, maybe?
The private sector of Workforce Solutions. And she works as a vice president of HR for Corpus Christi Medical Center. And she also lives here in Aransas County. So
And what are you appointing her to? I'm sorry.
to the board on Workforce Solutions.
Okay.
But she a volunteer, so she got appointed.
I guess I would just want to say quickly, I want to extend my thanks to the sheriff and to Judge McGinnis for jumping on an emergency in Holiday Beach Friday night when somehow some power got cut off to tenants. And I was amazed they were able to leap into action and actually get a hearing Friday night and work on getting that power back on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you for bringing that to our attention. There's nothing else. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move to
To
adjourn.
adjourn?
Two motions to adjourn. Take your pick. 2 seconds.
Second.
2 seconds. So all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.